Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel where we talk about more than just the mechanics of writing. Okay, so I have a confession. I've been procrastinating a lot lately, and during these very long stops at procrastination station, I find myself consuming a very large amount of Sims 4 content, as well as playing The Sims 4 when I probably should be editing. That being said, every time I emerge from the rabbit hole, I find myself thinking, you know what, this could actually be a really good tool for writing. So I am happy to announce that I'm going to be doing a video series on this very subject. The very first being using The Sims 4 for character development. I'm especially excited about this given that the new story mode for The Sims 4 has just come out. For those of you who are unfamiliar, before now you would start your game with a completely blank slate sim. You would customize their aspiration and traits, and you would start completely from scratch, and you would jump into game mode with everything at zero, skills at zero. You would get a set amount of money, so very kind of blank slate, which is great. But with story mode, you kind of answer a little quiz and you've got a series of questions, and the game automatically generates a sim for you with a jump start in certain skills. It assigns like an aspiration, sometimes even a career, and then you also get a low, medium or high starting amount of money. Whichever mode you choose, Creator Sim is really great for writers who have a great story but they're not really sure where to start with characters, or maybe you've got characters and you need a few minor characters that don't require a full profile. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump to a screen recording and I'm going to start a new game and just show you a little bit of how to use The Sims for character development. So let's move on over to that. Okay, so here we are on a different day with different clothes because the first time I filmed this, the video was corrupted and I just couldn't sort it out. So we're going to jump straight back in. I'm going to put my headphones on and let's get going. Okay, there we go. Okay, we are recording, so I'm just going to quickly click new game. Okay, so I see it has brought us straight into story mode, which is great. I think it's still loading. But as you can see in the top left, there is spaces for the aspiration and for the traits. So I'll show you more what happens as you go along with that. And we have here Mr. Generic or Mrs. Generic Shadow Sim. But as you can see, we have got this little tab that comes up and says here, how would you like to create my story? We'll start with a fun personality quiz. Afterwards you can customize my appearance. So that's great. I just click OK, and then okay, I'm just going to move my little pop-up here. Okay, and then it says here, let's start with an easy question. What age am I? Young adult, adult or elder? I'm going to go with young adult. We say, okay, now one thing to note with these questions is that the more packs and expansion packs and stuff you have in The Sims, the more questions you'll have and the more options there are, just because that's the way The Sims works. Also, if you don't like a question, there's this little tab at the bottom that says new question, so you can skip it. But for now, I like this question, so I'm going to just carry on with it. So it says here, home is, where my stuff is, where the heart is, where I feel safest. I'm going to say where the heart is. Okay, the next question. The best part of owning a pet is teaching them tricks, hearing my cats purr, giving them a forever home. I'm going to say giving them a forever home. Okay, see, now that I've just answered that question, it's given me a little tick for my aspiration. So it's telling me that based on that question that I've answered, it's assigned me an aspiration. Okay, I've got here before bed, I'm likely to rate dogs, browse videos, release the robot vacuum. I don't really like any of those options, so I'm just gonna go new question. And here, what do I like to do outdoors? Fishing, gardening, digging up treasure. Okay, digging up treasure sounds the best to me, so I'm gonna click that one. My favorite type of people are good people, interesting people, dogs. I'm going to say interesting people. Okay, see now what it's done is based on my aspiration, it has assigned me a sub trait or like a bonus trait. So that's what that little tick is about. Gotcha. In my free time, I like to curl up with a book, play video games, hit the gym. Curl up with a book, obviously. I've just met someone new. To impress them, I'll prank them, try my best pickup line, brag about my collections. Okay, so personally for me, I don't like any of these, but I think what I will do is say brag about my collections. Okay, and there we go. It's already given us our first trait. There's only 2 more to go, and you can see it by my little progress bar here. I'm after halfway through. We've got here, what role would I play in a criminal heist? Mastermind, muscle, police informant. Okay, just for fun, I'm going to say the mastermind. I'm going to share how to act around groups of people. I ensure everybody's happy. I clam up. I take charge. Okay, I'm going to say I take charge. Okay, again. Thank you, Shadow Sim. There's a second trait there. And so this might be our second to last or last question. I love visiting the park too, get some fresh air, go jogging, pet all the dogs. I'm going to say get some fresh air. What do I save money for? A better home, the future, nothing, I live in the moment. I think I'm going to click the last one, nothing, I live in the moment, just because I'm curious to see what that gives me. Okay, so there we are. That created our sim here. Oh, she is looking real good. Okay, there we go. It says, hi, nice to meet you, assign gender. Okay, so they don't want you to purely go with the sim that they've given you. They do say to adjust it and change it. I'm going to click OK. So what they've given us is this sim over here. Her aspiration is a curator. She wants to collect everything, and then her sub trait then would be collector. We've got evil. I think that was from the mastermind question. We've got loves outdoors and outgoing. So that's great. So what they've given us a career of a criminal, which is quite interesting and fun. And then we have got skill in charisma and writing, and our starting funds are standard. So I'm just going to quickly go through and adjust her appearance, and then we will move on to the next section. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all ways to customize the character. It's not a Sims 4 tutorial, but I'm just going to show you basically. We've got your face, so you can do skin tone. We've got hair, hats, these are accessories. You can put makeup on them. And if you zoom out and click on her body, you can adjust their build, and then there's the clothing and that kind of thing. I think what I'm going to do is, I quite like what she's got on, but I think I'm going to change her top a little bit. So I think let's go with something sassy because she's a criminal mastermind. Okay, let's go with why not, let's go with something like that. Yeah, it matches that. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys about custom content because it's a really great opportunity to make your characters look exactly how you want them to. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. I've downloaded a whole lot of custom content, and you can tell the difference because it has, let me just find something here. It has this little spanner in the corner, so you can give them stuff that's really, really realistic. So I'm going to change her hair and just show you that. So let's give her natural hair color was a brownie color, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. Let's give her that hair. And then something I'm really excited about, because a lot of my characters have scars, is the custom content scars, which I'm going to show you right now. In actual fact, let me take her necklace off so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just bring her up a little bit. Let's make her a little bit taller. And I'll go into my skin details. And it says here, body scars. So like I said, you can see it's custom content. So we've got this scar that's appeared here across her neck. We've got ones across her chest. We've got ones all over her collarbone. So it's very interesting and fun to play with. And if you can find decent custom content, you can make a sim exactly the way your character looks. So I'm going to keep her like that, nice tall lady. And you know what, actually I don't like her hair. I'm going to change her hair. Just because, I don't know, I think for a darker skin tone it would be slightly different. Actually, that looks very nice. Yeah, I like that hair. I'm going to give her like a dark brown, and then I'm going to just, her eyebrows, just match them to her hair. Okay, I'm going to leave her like that. Okay, so she's got a couple of scars, she's looking sassy, and if you click at this top left little plum bob, you can change personality. So the reason why I say this is so good for character development is that because you can quite easily pick like a basic profile for your sim. So here we've got gender, but then you can also customize gender. So the frame, clothing preference, a sexuality, and then kind of whether they can use the toilet standing or not. It's not a perfect process. There's a lot more nuances. I understand that, but it's a good base to go with. So at the moment we've just got a standard female sim. You can change their voice, and I'm going to keep quiet a sec so you can hear the difference.
Gusha Blanco. Rainik. Ooh, from. Wambasi Jewel.
And a prep kit off. Me boon.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. That's her voice. And so you can also adjust the default walk style. Again, something that you have a little bit of a limited option, but if you're not sure where to go with the character, at least you've got a starting point. So I'm going to give her a snooty walk just because I feel like it. And then if there were other sims in the household, you could add and edit relationships. So I'll come back to that once I've added the second sim. So we're going to go down to the bottom here, add a sim. And I'm not going to go with the sim via story. I'm going to go with just plain old add a new sim, because then I can show you how to manually do it. Okay, let's. Okay, we've got another lady. You know what? Let's start with a guy instead this time. Okay, he seems like a cool fellow. Let's assign his traits. So if you don't want to go through the whole storyline situation, but you don't want to go through and pick the traits and stuff one by one, there is this little randomize option, which is really cool. So let's go with, okay, and the traits are broken down into 4 categories. We've got emotional, we've got hobby, we've got lifestyle, and we've got social. So I usually try and do like maybe one from kind of each category, or one from 3 different categories, you know what I mean? So we've got this guy. Okay, let's say I'm just going to pick some at random. In actual fact, I'm going to randomize the traits because that's just easier. Okay, we've got hot-headed, romantic, and erratic, so that's a lot of fun. Okay, we've got pick an aspiration. Again, the aspirations, the more packs you have, the more option you'll have, but it's a good starting point. So he is erratic. You know what? Let's maybe make her and him maybe like, I don't know, partners in crime. So let's make his deviance, and he is all about the chief of mischief. So that's great. Oh, we didn't name our first sim, did we? Okay, let's go back to her. Let's name her. So again, you can randomize names, or you can type names out you like. So I'm just going to randomize 1, 2, 3 Scarlet, 1, 2, 3 Goldsmith. Oh, that's perfect for her, isn't it? A mastermind, criminal mastermind, Scarlet Goldsmith. Okay, and sim number 2, let's change his name. 1, 2, 3 Devin, 2, 3 Atkins. Okay, so now when I go into his personality, you can see here I can edit his relationships. So we've got your roommate, sister, wife. Okay, so that's very interesting, and it's nice when you also have, you know, sims of, or characters of the same family. You can actually adjust that as well. So what I'm going to do now is show you the the play with genetics section, because this is a lot of fun, especially if you want to create a sibling or a family member, but you don't want to have to painstakingly go through it. Maybe they're a minor character, somebody that doesn't really play a huge role. So we'll go play with genetics, and we've and it's selected Devon, and you can create child, sibling, or parents. I'm going to say child, and like it's got unknown parent. So if you've got 2 Sims, I can allocate Scarlett as a parent, but for the time being I'm just going to keep it blank. Again, you can go male, female, and then you can randomize. Let's go through a couple times. You know what, actually I like that first one, so I'm going to go back to her. Okay, she's quite sweet, so I'm going to say done. Okay, let's quickly speed through giving her a name. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, Amara. Oh, that's a pretty name. And because she's a child, she only gets 1 trait and 1 aspiration, so I'm going to randomize that. Outgoing, and I'm going to say social butterfly because that matches her trait. So now also, if I'm on Amara, or Amara, and I go to play with genetics, I can do a twin, which is a lot of fun. I've done it before in games. So I'm gonna give her a male twin. I'm gonna say randomized twin. Oh, he's quite cute. Okay, we'll keep him. So Amara, and then let's give him a name quickly. 1, 2, 3. Abel and Amara Atkins. Oh, that's lovely. And then we've got, he'll be cheerful, and I think let's give him a creative trait. There we go. Okay, and again for the kids, you can adjust their voice and their walk and stuff, because but it's a bit more limited because they're children. As they age up, obviously it gets a bit more complex. And now you can see edit relationships. We've got roommate, father, and sister, so it's automatically filled that in for us, which is great. So I'm just going to click that tick there, and I'm going to just quickly jump into a little bit of gameplay just to show you the differences between the characters. Okay, so I'm just going to rename this household to TS4 writing tool. Okay, I'm going to just click play. Again, the more packs you have, the more worlds that you will have. So I'm just going to take them to Newcrest, and I'm just going to put them on an empty lot because more on that later. Stay tuned for the next few videos. So I'm just going to click confirm, say yes. So they're moving in there. You know, a nice interesting thing to note is that actually a lot of people use The Sims as a medium for storytelling. If you look on YouTube, there's a lot of people who do like little stories and like rags to riches, and there's a whole lot of different themes that they use. So this is not really a concept that's foreign to some people, you know, using it as a storytelling tool. So it's very nice to know that, you know, people are using things in unexpected ways. So yeah, and I personally have used The Sims before to kind of create my characters, get a better kind of idea of them in my mind's eye and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, if you can get hold of the best or the nicest custom content, that was loud, I don't know if you could hear me, but if you can get your hands on some nice custom content, you can make your characters really, really realistic. Okay, so we see we've got Scarlett, we've got Devon, we've got Amara, and we've got Abel, and they are all in on their little plot. Okay, as you can see, Scarlett is already on level 3 of her criminal career, and if I go to her skills, let me see it, she's got a level up in charisma, mischief, and writing. Whereas if you look at Devon, if it'll change over, that would be great. If you look at Devon, it says Devon has no skills and he has yet to join a career. So the 3 Sims that we created like from scratch, they won't have any of the kind of legs up that Scarlett has, because she is in fact the one that we created with story mode. So that's great. Another thing to note, which is quite fun, especially if you're stuck with characters and the way they interact, is to actually kind of create characters and just let them do what they want. Just kind of just let them play and watch them. You can see now that all 4 of them are busy chatting there, and Scarlet has she has what they call wings here up above her head, based on the traits that she has and based on her aspirations. So we've got here compliment someone, so she wants to compliment someone because she's happy at the moment. We've got here be mischievous from the mischief skill, and we've got here become inspired from her writing skill. So that's pretty cool. So that's our little Sims 4 family. We might use them again sometime. I've saved them as a load file, but next time we'll be talking about settings and maybe a little bit of map making. I haven't decided which one yet. That's why I have bought them this beautiful big empty lot. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really looking forward to doing the rest of this series. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys find it helpful, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye.